Welcome back to another episode of Full Retard. Today we have more entitled parent stories. First up, entitled Ex-Wife Shows Up at Dad's Funeral by Sweet Resistance 69. Hey y'all, frequent lurker here. I remembered this story the other day and thought you all may enjoy it. It's short and not so sweet, but yeah, you'll figure it out. Backstory. When I was 5, my father passed away from stage 4 prostate cancer. In his will, he made it well known that his ex-wife would not be allowed anywhere near his funeral. My mom, unfortunately, found out the hard way while being nice to her at the funeral. My mom told me this story a while back. Story. Ex-wife turns up to funeral unannounced. Half-brothers. Mom, you can't be here. Please go. Dad said you were not allowed to come here. My mom hears the commotion at the back of the church. Hello there, ex-wife. Your sons are right. He did not want you here. However, you had a part in his life, so I will give you permission. Ex-wife and mom walk up to casket by themselves. Time passes with nothing said. Ex-wife. I know you loved my husband, and I know he loved you. But at the end of the day, I was the better wife. Yep. My mom wanted to rip her eyes out, but didn't. Hope you all enjoyed it. I found out years later why my dad didn't want her there. After their divorce and the eventful marriage to my mom, she wrote him love letters every day and would mail them to her. They are still locked away in a box in my mom's basement. Wonderful stuff. LOL. Update. For everyone asking if this is the full story, I don't believe it was an affair as much as it may seem that way. According to my half-brothers, our dad had already divorced their mom by the time he met my mom. My mom was running a candy store at a mall after a recent breakup with her 7-year fiancé. Her fiancé wanted a prenup, and my mom said no. My dad happened to be at JCPenney's in the 90s signing a deal to sell his suits in the department store. He was a well-known suit designer at the time. My mom said after their conversation, the whole mall staff knew about it by the next day. Crazy stuff, ha. My dad was a constant business traveler, so she has mentioned every so often that she feared he may have been cheating on her when he was gone for weeks at a time. But if you look at photos and videos up to his death, he always seemed like a loving father and husband. We never had a side woman pop up after his death, so that'll always be just a rumor. My eldest half-brother has made it known to my mom that he believes my mom was using him for his money. The two of them had a bit of an argument when it came to my dad's estate after his death. They wanted certain things that she gave my brother and I instead. I understand their frustration, of course. It's all rather confusing and maddening, to be honest. Edit. I didn't realize my post would blow up like this, but thank you all for the upvotes and awards. I really appreciated all your comments. Next up, entitled Aunt's Kid Wants to Take My Monitor by Hosiek. Before all this COVID BS, some family came over for a family reunion at my place. There's my grandparents, my Aunt Lucy, my Aunt Charlotte, and my Uncle Dave. There's some cousins, of course, and I'll just get to the point. I'm just playing some Fortnite, don't judge, on my computer, and my little cousin, who is about 11, walks into my room and gives a casual, "Hey!" I say hello back, and he just stands beside me, watching me get some victories and losses for about 30 minutes. He politely asks if he can play some. I nod, and he smiles and hops onto my chair and starts playing. Now here's when it becomes chaotic. About 10 to 15 minutes later, the kid asks why I have 2 computers. I say it's only one. I do have 2 monitors, though. And he starts saying how I have 2 computers and that he should be allowed to have one. I decline. He stomps out of my room in rage, and I'm guessing goes to ask his mom, Aunt Charlotte, if he could have. So now I have an angry mother and an entitled kid. Guess what? Charlotte grabs my effing arm and lets the kid take one of my monitors, and he runs downstairs. My mom was down there, and she took my monitor back and kicked them both out. Love you, Mom. Next up, Dad wants me to give his kid an air gun, and when I refuse, he wants my address to sue me. I just want to share. Well, that a while ago, and I just wanted to share it. I was selling my airsoft sniper rifle for 20 euros. The price was really good for an unused, upgraded product. Boy, I wish the price was his only problem. The texts were something like this. Entitled Dad, "Good morning. Is it still available?" "Yes, it is." "What's the price?" If you read further on my page, it is 200 euros. "Well, I was wondering if I can have a discount." "I can drop it to 175, but no lower." "That's too much for a toy." "This thing is mostly metal, and it has enough power to break skin. I wouldn't call this just a toy." "Well, how about 50? "Excuse? If you would buy a new one from the shop, it would be around $400, and I hope you are joking." "Can we do this for 100? 175 is my last offer." "Come on, it's for my child's birthday, and I promised him to get this toy." "Wait, what? How old is he? He is turning 8, and I promised him to get this toy. This toy can break skin, blind someone, or break his teeth, and you want this for an 8-year-old? Will you sell it, or will you keep wasting my time? The price is $250 for you. F you. Have a nice day. I blocked him after this and deleted his account, so I thought it was over. Boy, was I wrong. He found my page again and texted me from another number, and here comes the spicy part. How dare you block me? That's against the customer service. Wow, you are really wanting to mesh up with people, right? Give me the effing toy or I will sue you. Do you also want to talk to the manager or what? What about selling the gun for me then? Oh, in this situation, I can. And for causing so much trouble, I could do this for €50. Me again, address. Here we can meet. There for the sale. Oh, good. After a while, I just wanted to mess up with him, and I did, like 1 hour later. You effing jerk. You send me to the toy shop. I sent him to the airsoft shop. Nice. Now get inside and ask them the regulations and the price. Tell me your address so I can send you my lawyer. Address? Blocked him again and deleted his number, and now I am waiting for the messages from him, and I want to see his reaction when he will realize that I sent him another airsoft gun shop. Last, you want the heirloom left to you? You gotta buy it off of me. By Wolf's Little Sprite. So this is a bit of a long story on mobile, so sorry for spelling or grammar mistakes. So when I was a baby, my mom had a close friend, Matthew. Matthew was the most incredible guy ever. He was a biker, strong and handsome, and so down to earth. He used to babysit me a lot, read me stories, and have tea parties. I'm a girl, by the way. He was in a club and was very up in authority within the club and well respected within the community, mainly because he looked exactly like Steve Harris, bass guitarist. Anyways, he rode a beautiful Harley Davidson and promised to take me for a ride when I was old enough. I got to wear his helmet and sit on his bike, which was cool. He brought me some display plates with Harley Davidson bikes printed on them, the kind of plates you see at Grandma's hanging on the wall. When I was about 5, Matthew was in a terrible bike accident. A drunk driver knocked him off his bike, and despite the best efforts of the doctors and nurses, he died of internal bleeding. I was too young to understand, but when I grew up and learned how horrible bike accidents can be, I was absolutely devastated. My mom hadn't mentioned him in years. One day, while clearing out the attic, she found the plates and showed me. I vaguely remembered them, but I was so excited to have something to remember him by. My mom said she was going to put them up for auction online, so if I wanted them, I had to bid. She wanted to start each plate at €40, and there was 6 of them. I didn't even have a job. I was 17, so there was no way I could have bought them. They were mine anyways, but she had a habit of taking things away to keep them safe and eventually sell when they became vintage. I begged to get a hold of them till I could pay for them, and she agreed. They went back into the attic and was forgotten about for about 5 years. I asked again about them, and she said she didn't know exactly where they were, but would look next time they needed up there. This happened a few more times, and I gave up. Last week, I got a text from my sister. She said the attic was being cleared out and I should come by and collect my stuff. I asked about the Harley Davidson plates, and my mom had given them to charity. The only thing I had left to remember Matthew by was these old plates, and she just gave them away. They weren't hers in the first place. My entire life, she has taken away pretty much everything from me. Wherever it was a gift or something I bought myself, I had so much off her from her eBay account, and I spent a lot of money just to retrieve a few toys and ornaments that meant the world to me. The worst was when she took away a vintage video game console from 1982. Big boxy game console that gave me and my brothers hours of entertainment. 6 kids had played that thing for years, and it was in fantastic condition. It was taken away because you kids will break it. I can sell it on eBay and make some money. Well, I recently found one in its original packaging, so I bought it. Here's where karma comes in. All the money she made by selling my childhood was kept in a tent. No one knew where it was kept, and no one cared. We had a leak and needed an emergency plumber for some reason. He had to go to the pipes in the attic. A few hours later, my mom went to inspect the work, and the tin of money was gone. It was like €600. She called the police and accused the plumber, but nothing came of it. Then she turned and accused her own children. We didn't even know the tin of money was kept in the attic, let alone have the ability to get up there. She was mad at everyone for years and constantly said, I'm suspicious of everyone. We never found out what happened to the money, but if I ever find a tin that looks exactly like the one that went missing, I'm opening it and leaving it on her porch as petty revenge for stealing from her kids and making us buy our heirlooms off her. It will drive her insane to not know where this tin came from and think it was hers. Update. Thank you for the kind messages. I'm sorry other people had to go through a similar situation. I've tried to track down the plates, but there's quite a few charity shops in the area. I don't know when or where the plates were taken to, so it would be impossible to find them. I have found copies, but it's not the same. As for my mom, I've completely cut her out of my life. There's nothing left of my property at her house, so I don't need to go back there. I've blocked her number, and she doesn't have my current address, and I'm moving house soon anyway, so none of my family will be able to contact unless it's through Facebook, and I don't use that often.